The ribbon spread isn't just a flourish. It's one of the most beautiful ways to show off your cards. Today I'm going to show you how to spread your cards smoothly across the table, flip the entire spread over in one motion, and then gather up your cards like a pro. So basically we're going to have 3 skills in one video. And stick around at the end, I'll share a trick that turns the ribbon spread into one moment of pure magic. Let's demonstrate to you what these techniques look like and how to perform them. Okay, so we're going to perform a clean ribbon spread here. And basically all we're doing is just spreading out the cards. We're going to touch down, flip them over, and then we can gather them up. Okay, or what we can do is we can come in and do a spread, rotate them over. Okay, and then also rotate them back into whatever we want to do. Okay, and we can also gather them up again.
Do you want to master card magic faster? Grab my free First 100 Techniques PDF. It's your step-by-step guide to building real magician control. Download it now and start practicing smarter today. Click in the link in the description below to get your free copy. Now let's get back to it.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to spread the cards. So we're going to start with our dealer's grip here. And I'm going to take it into a end grip. So basically covering the front, back of your index finger on top, and then your thumb on the back side here. And we're just going to place our index finger along the side of the cards there. You're going to place the cards down, and what you're doing is you're using your middle finger and your thumb as guides as you come across the table. And your index finger here is going to be placing pressure down along the side here of the cards. Okay, and your index finger is basically what you use to release the cards. So we're going to come across, we're just going to release the cards a little bit at a time, and the goal is to try to avoid clumping like this and to have nice evenly spread cards. Okay, so we'll try this one more time, and all we're going to do is we're going to middle finger and thumb put pressure on the outsides of the cards and act as a guide. We're going to push down with our index finger and use that to fan the cards out. Now you might be asking what's the difference between a straight line, okay, or asking the difference between an arc. Okay, and there is no real difference there between the two. Basically, it's preference. It's the illusion you're trying to obtain from the trick, or the performance, or the display, or the flourish of doing the ribbon spread. So coming across, and we can either do that or we can do the arc. Again, the only difference is going to be display, or what it looks like to your viewer, or the illusion that you're trying to obtain. So one question beginners might have is, why does the spread clump? Why do you get clumps in your deck and that? And it's basically because you're pushing down too hard with that index finger. So you want to make sure you have nice, even, smooth pressure on the release of the cards, and you're just going to try to release, one at a time when you're doing this. So when you're coming across, you're just slowly increasing the angle of your index finger, and that's what releases those cards there. And if you're pushing too hard, that's where that clumping comes from. The gaps in between your cards aren't uniform enough. That means you're not pushing enough on the cards. So if you come in and you have to do something like this, that means that you're not having that consistent pressure with the index finger. So coming in and slowly increasing the angle of your index finger.
By the way, if you want to take your practice to the next level, I put together a card magic practice journal. It's a simple system that helps you track sleights, tricks, breakthroughs, and even audience reactions, so you can see your progress and stay consistent. I use it myself every day, and it's made a huge difference. You can grab your copy in the link in the description. Now let's get back to it.
Another neat little thing is you can kind of go on a straight view, but it presents a little bit better of an image is coming in on an angle. So from the viewer's perspective, it's the front right side that's closest to him, and then it comes back to to the viewer's farthest away left side. And that kind of presents a different look on the cards when you do that. So let's go through the turnover now here. And the turnover is a good way to get the cards from one direction to the other direction. So sometimes you might reveal and say, hey, here we have a random grouping of cards. There's no particular order to it. Check it out. And then I want to show the back side of the cards here. And we're just going to come in and show, these look like ordinary cards from this perspective here. So we can go from there. So that's basically what we're doing with the turnover. Or we can show the back side of cards, and we'll come from the other angle here. You have the back side of the cards, and to show to you that, we have ordinary cards. We have, all the different cards. There's no particular order. They're all mixed up really nice. So we can actually go back again and then come in and gather up the cards. Some people, what they'll do is they'll come in, do the spread, take the last card, and they'll use it actually to flip the cards. And then you can flip them back again and gather them up. So that might be a little trick or a technique or something that you can use also. Some people come in and do the spread. Let's do that again because that was not the best one. And again, this is a journey for me. I'm learning as we go in front of you, your eyes and that. So we can take a card here. We can come across, rotate it, stop it, and then we can use that card to bring it back as well. So that might be an option of something that you could do too. So just a little different things that you can do. You just kind of play around with it. And come up with, see, I flipped it the wrong way, so you don't want to advertise that. And you can come in and use that card to flip it over, okay? Or we can use that card to flip it back. So it's just little things. Again, try different things, see what works out best for you, and just kind of play around with it and go from there. With this turnover, don't make sure you don't rush it. Make a display out of it. Let's get back into it again. Make a display out of it. Take your time doing it. So let's come in and let's try a different thing here. Let's do an arc here. Okay. And just to show you guys that the arc actually does produce the same as doing it the other way. Okay. And then you can flip it back if you wanted. Here's a little neat thing I saw also in some of my research is we're coming in here and we're doing this arc. Okay. And then you can just bring your hand in here and coming across and make all the cards turn. Let's try that again once. And it looks like it works one way better than the other. So we're coming in, we're doing this arc ribbon spread. Okay. And as a little display, I can just, rotate my cards through, and it's just a little bit of a flourish, a little different way of doing things. So again, trying different things, see how it works out. There is no one specific way to do this, but there are some common practices that do work out best. Remember, when you do this turnover, it usually is best to have some kind of covered surface. If you're using a hard surface, what happens is these cards will slide and you're not able to get this this movement like this. Look at how slow we can do this and how, we can actually just kind of manipulate it and see how the cards are standing up there, okay? And let's say I get to this point, I don't want it, so we'll just bring it back then. Not a big deal. Now, gathering the cards, okay, we're gonna come in and we're gonna turn it over. Okay, gathering is, I'm just gonna leave my hand at the end here and we're just going to slide it in, okay? Come in, square it up, and we can bring it right back into the center here. So it's just as simple as that. Remember that a smooth gathering, if you can gather those cards smoothly, that's going to help set you up for another trick. So we can do that. We can come in and gather from the opposite side. So the first way that we did it was coming in, spreading, putting our front fingers down so we can trap them, Coming in, my hand catches. I can spread or gather like that. Come in square and get ready for the trick. Or we can just come in like this and come in from the opposite side. Again, putting our fingers down instead of turning, I'm just going to trap them in the square or gather it up that way. Now the ribbon spread can be used as a flourish, or it could be used to start or end a trick. So, it can be used as a flourish. Hey, I have a full deck of cards here. It's pretty cool. And we could do whatever we want with these cards. We could flip them over, we can gather them, we can do whatever we need to do. So that would be kind of the flourish portion of it. Or we could say, hey, we have a regular deck of cards. All the backs are the same way. And if you look at the faces, they're all different cards. There's no rhyme or reason to them, and they're perfectly mixed up. So you can use that as a setup to your trick. Or we could do something like this. We could do, we have all the cards, and all of a sudden, instantly, there's only one card here that's faced the wrong way, and that's your ace of spades. So you could do it as a reveal as well. So that's the different types of ways that you can use the ribbon spread in your performances. You can also use this to allow a spectator to pick a card. So you do your ribbon spread and say, okay, pick a card. They pick this card, they pull it off to the side. You can come in, gather up your cards, and get ready for your trick. Then they can actually look at the card and see what it is. 8 of hearts. So that's basically the ribbon spread, the turnover, the gathering move, all 3 flourishes that make you look like a card master if you can get it down. Remember, practice is key, so make sure you do the practice and make sure that you can come in and do it smoothly and go through the entire procedure. Keep watching this channel, because within the next few videos, I'm going to show how we can actually make this ribbon spread part of one of your tricks, so you can actually incorporate it into it in a smooth fashion. To see other types of flourishes, make sure you click on the playlist that's on the right hand side there. That'll bring you over to my playlist of all the flourishes that we've done up to this point. Hey, my name is Joe. This is my card magic journey. Let's make it yours too.